He joined from US, I think. He's not sleeping.
No, not really. I am back.
He's here. He's here.
Huh?
I returned back.
Here.
Oh, great. So you're evaluating today. I thought you were still in US.
No, Ibrahim is delivering speech also. Yeah, he's a speaker as well as evaluate one speech.
If you allow.
Yes, yeah.
Hi, Jijo. Toastmaster Jijo, how are you doing? After a long time,
Hey, I'm here. Only you left. So.
Well, you are
He's our
guilty as
mover and shaker, Chijo.
Yes.
Definitely, yes.
Noman, we can start, I think. If our role players are there at the moment.
We're just waiting for Rupesh. Otherwise, we can start.
Rupesh, okay, we'll wait for Rupesh. Just
no,
message him.
I just texted
message
him.
Rupesh.
Yeah.
I don't know, unfortunately, what happened to my laptop.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Morning, Hassan Bhai. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How is everything?
So nice to see you after a long time.
Come back after a break.
I would
Yes,
request someone to take the role of vote counter, if it's possible, because it's my name there. If someone can do the vote counter role.
Because nobody else knows much, so you do it.
Okay, if it is difficult for you, we just use the Word doc. Okay, I will see. Otherwise, I will just send text.
Okay.
Yeah, good morning, all of you.
File pictures. Is it
Good morning.
Deliberately?
Jijo, you said something?
Yeah, somebody just off the profile pictures. Actually, it's helpful. Only the contest normally they.
I guess that can be only done by Zoom Master.
Yes, can we start? Sure.
Yeah, we can start.
Okay. Calling meeting to order. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Welcome to the 21st meeting of the MECA KSA Toastmaster Club number 07879933, Area 6, Division B, and District 79. I am Muhammad Oman, the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. Before we begin, let me read out the mission for our Toastmasters meeting. We provide a sporting and a positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication, leadership skills, and resulting in us greater self-confidence and personal growth. I request you all to please repeat after me. For better listening,
better listening,
better thinking, and better speaking. We learn by doing. Thank you. I request you all to silence your cell phone during the meeting. Since we are an online meeting, members other than the role player, meeting leaders, and the speakers are advised to mute their microphone during the meeting. You are urged to upload the emojis and through your videos. As a general rule, in Toastmasters, we can speak on any topic except the politics, religion, and sex. I hope you will enjoy the today meeting as I would. Let me hand over the control of the meeting to the presiding officer, a great Toastmaster, a confident speaker, and exemplary leader, our club president and mentor, distinguished Toastmasters, Esther Sridhar.
Thank you, Mr. Nauman, for your generous introduction. Am I audible or and visible? Hello?
You are audible, not visible.
Not visible. 1 second. That's the problem. One second. Launching. Just for 1 minute. I'm trying to best speak. Yeah. Am I visible now?
Yes.
Yes. So there's some. So thank you, Mr. Nauman, for your generous introduction. Today's theme is an outstanding theme. It's the theme of the future. How many of you all know that in olden times, people used to judge the intelligence of a person with intelligent quotient, IQ. His IQ is great, 140, 130, 150. So he's termed to be great. Later on, when things moved on, we tried to evolve. And we found out that intelligent quotient is not the only thing for success. We have great intelligent quotient of great people. For example, the standout cases of Bobby Fischer, one of the greatest chess players of all times. He had an immense IQ. He could win matches and beat anybody in chess. But unfortunately, he was wanting in in other aspects. That is, he couldn't get along well with people. He couldn't even do anything. His life was not at all, it was full of conflicts. His IQ was greatest. But later on, people discovered that we need to have something else, that is emotional quotient, intelligence. Daniel Goleman has written a great book, Emotional Intelligence. We need to understand. As Stephen Covey said, we have to understand and be understood. You need, any person needs to empathize with his people around him to be successful amongst his people. So that's the reason emotional quotient is very, very important, stands out. You may not have a great IQ, but you have a great EQ. You are a success. Take the examples of our former captain, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Bjorn Borg, or they won just because of their emotional quotient. They were so calm, cool, and could empathize with people and make some great decisions in moment of crisis. So hence, today we have the theme as emotional intelligence. Let me call upon our word master of the day. Pardon? 1 second, 1 second. Yes. Let me call upon our word master of the day. Express the word today.
Your feedback.
Thank you, DTM Sridhar. Good morning, President, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and guests. The word of the day is empathy. What is the meaning of empathy? Empathy means the ability to understand and share the feelings of other. Empathy means the ability to relate to the other person's pain as if you were experiencing the pain yourself. So sometimes people, if you look for synonyms of empathy, there are not many synonyms. If you see on the whole, there are so many terms which are close to empathy. For example, compassion, sensitivity, sympathy. But empathy is a little bit further, goes a little bit further than these synonymous sounding words. Sympathy is probably the closest cousin of empathy. It has been around for hundreds of years, but it is still, there are similarities and there are dissimilarities. So when you say sympathy, it says, okay, I pity you, I understand your suffering, right? And I sympathize. But empathy is, I feel the pain as if I am feeling myself. So it goes a little bit further. Examples are of this word is, he felt great empathy with the poor, which means he can feel the sufferings of the poor. Give another example. His months spent researching prison life gave him greater empathy towards the convicts. Normally, we look down upon convicts, but they have their own set of problems. So when somebody did a research, he feels, okay, they have their own problems. So I hope I have clarified the word, and hope to see you all using these words during your speeches. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster President. You are on mute, DTM, Sridhar.
Am I audible now? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Sanat, for introducing the word of the day. Before we proceed ahead, let us appreciate previous week's winners. The best speaker award went to Hidayatullah Beg. The best table topic speaker was Sanat Agarwal. The best evaluator was Mudassir Farooq. The best meeting leader was also Mudassir Farooq. The big three went to Mr. Hidayatullah Beg. Please give a round of applause to all of them. So now, the Toastmaster of the day today, who will be anchoring and conducting this program, is a very versatile person. He is an all-rounder. Not only is an all-rounder because he is an engineer, but came into finance. And he empathized. When I spoke to him, he empathized with me. And now he says that was a game changer for him. And took Toastmastering like fish takes to the water. And the amount of great strides he has made is mind-boggling. He is an engineer and turned into finance. Now, you can say that he's blessed with 4 kids, and he's working in a professional, very highly professional organization as a finance guy. So now, please help me welcome our great speaker and a leader, Mr. Hidayatullah Beg.
Thank you, DTM Sridhar, for the generous introduction. It's my pleasure to serve as Toastmaster of the day today. Before introducing the theme of the day, let me explain the agenda of today's meeting. Today's meeting is divided into 3 sessions. The first session is the prepared speech session. The second one is the table topic speech session. And the last is the evaluation or feedback session. Coming back to the theme of the day, it is emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? It refers to the ability to perceive, control, and evaluate our emotions. Some researchers suggest that emotional intelligence can be learned and strengthened, while others claim it is an inborn characteristic. Why is emotional intelligence important? Emotional intelligence is the pattern of how people's biases in their thinking leads to think one thing or choice better than other, as well as their clarity in differentiating within these biases to exercise clear and sound judgment. Emotional intelligence leads to increased leadership ability, increased performance, improved decision making, decreased occupational stress, reduced staff turnover, increased personal being, etc. etc. Now I will call the meeting leaders to introduce and request them to explain their roles. The role of R counter, word master, and grammarian are very important as their feedback will help us improve our speech. The role of the timer is also important as we get his guidance to complete our speech within the prescribed time limit. The role of the vote counter is to conduct the voting and help us choosing the best speaker, the best table topic speaker, the best evaluator, the best meeting leader, and the best of three. We will start with the R counter, Toastmaster Hassan Hussain. Can you please explain your role, Toastmaster Hassan Hussain?
Good morning, fellow Toastmaster. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. My role as a counter is to count the number of unnecessary sounds or repetitive words that a speaker uses when he is speaking on the stage. I will be observing and taking note of words such as you know, like, or such some filler words that will affect the effectiveness of the speech. I will be presenting my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan Hussain, for explaining your role. Now I call upon the word master and grammarian for today's meeting, Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal. Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal, can you explain your role? You're on mute. Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal, you're on mute. Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Mr. T.M. Hidayatullah. Good morning, everybody, once again. My role as a grammarian and also as a word master is to introduce the word of the day. I will play also my responsibility is to pay a close attention to the speakers, listening carefully into the usage of the language. I will take note of all improper usage of language as well as outstanding words or phrases, sayings or thoughts during the session. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day, and I shall present my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal, for explaining your role clearly. Now I call upon the timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Muhammad Nauman. Toastmaster Muhammad Nauman, can you please explain your role?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My role as a timer to keep the time for all the prepared speeches, table topic speeches, and evaluation speeches. For this purpose, I will use three different colors: green, yellow, and red. The green color will indicate that the speaker hit the qualifying time. The yellow color means the speaker hit the target time. It's a halfway between the minimum and the maximum time. And the red color when the allotted time is finished. After the red color will appear on the screen, each speaker has 30 seconds to wrap up his speech. Now we have a prepared speeches from icebreaker from our Toastmasters Rupesh. The ideal time for the icebreaker is 4 to 6 minutes, where the green will be appear at 4, yellow at 5, and red at 6. For other prepared speeches, the time is 5 to 7 minutes, where the screen will go green at 5, yellow at 6, and red at 7. For table topic evaluation speeches, the screen will be go for green at 1, 1.5 at yellow, and red at 2. For evaluation, the ideal time is 2 to 3 minutes, where the screen will be go green at 2, yellow at 2.5 minutes, and red at 3 minutes. For table topic evaluation, the evaluator have 30 seconds to wrap up to evaluate the speech of one speaker. For example, if we have 6 speakers for table topic, the evaluator will take 3 minutes to evaluate, and the screen will be at 3, it will go green. 3.5, it will be go at yellow, and the red at 4 minutes. I will present my report when called upon by the journal evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohammad Nauman, for explaining your role. Now I call upon the vote counter, Toastmaster Hassan Hussain, to explain your role. Toastmaster Hassan Hussain.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. The role of a vote counter is to, as a vote counter, I will be sharing the link for the best prepared speakers, best table topic speaker, and best meeting leader, best of week 3. So please cast your vote according to your preferences. I will report at the end of the meeting when called upon. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan Hussain, for your explanation of your role. Now, back to the sessions. We will start the first session, which is the prepared speeches. Prepared speeches are prepared in advance in line with the speaker's chosen pathway. The importance of prepared speeches is that you choose a topic, research it thoroughly, draft it, and practice it. This helps you in developing speech writing skill as well as speaking skills. Today we have 4 speeches. There will be an icebreaker speech, there will be a L2P2 speech and a L2P3 speech and a L1P2 speech. Our first speech will be given by Toastmaster Mohammad Nauman. It will be his L2P3 speech, and Toastmaster Jijo Koshi is the evaluator of this speech. Toastmaster Mohammad Nauman is from city of Faisalabad in Pakistan. He is ACMA and
point of order. I think Jijo has to give the criteria of evaluation. What are the criteria?
Okay. I call upon the evaluator of the speech of Toastmaster Mohammad Nauman, Toastmaster Jijo Koshi, to read the objectives of Toastmaster Nauman's speech.
Thank you,
Toastmaster Jijo Koshi.
The purpose of the project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envision mentoring. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. Time 5 to 7 minutes. Speech title: Why we need mentors. Why we need mentors. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jijo Koshi. Our speaker, Mohammad Nauman, is from the city of Faisalabad in Pakistan. He is ACMA CGMA from Chartered Institute of Management Accountant, and he is an MBA with specialization in management in finance and a couple of certifications in accounts, audit, and finance. He has more than 15 years experience in Saudi Arabia since 2013. He is currently working as a deputy manager, accounting, finance, and controlling in CMID LLC. He is a very active Toastmaster in our MECA Toastmasters Club, taking leading roles and taking a lot of initiatives to have the meetings on time. I call upon Toastmaster Mohammed Noman to start his speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Mohammed Noman.
Thank you. Toastmaster Sanat,
Point of order. I will be timing the speech for Mr. Mohammed Noman, and I will say green, red, green, yellow, and red at 5, 6, and 7 minutes respectively.
Can you just show your hand? Otherwise, yep. If I cannot, because
Okay, I will show you that. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Do the spotlighting of timer as well. It will be helpful for us. You can spotlight the timer as well, so it will be helpful for us to know the time.
Okay.
Yes, please.
It's okay. Yeah, Hassan. Yeah, Toastmaster Hassan, can you please spotlight or help us? It's okay. Yep. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Mentoring. Now, just Toastmaster Sanat, can you please start the time now? Toastmaster Sanat.
I think Toastmaster Sanat is not in the meeting now.
Yes, I'm in the meeting. Please start. I've started. I'm starting the timer.
Just start the time now. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mentoring. Mentoring is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. A quote by John Cropsey. Good morning, Toastmaster of the day, respective guests, and distinguished Toastmasters. No, mentoring is a relationship between two persons in which the one person guides the other person for the professional and the personal development. The mentor is usually an individual with experience who shares experience, advice, and knowledge with the other person with a less experience, who's called the mentee or the protege. Respective Toastmasters, can you please share with us how many of you have a mentor at this time? Two, any other? Three. Oh, it's a very good thing that at some even 4 members out of our 9 members already have a mentor. So I just advise and request other members also just go for the mentorship program or just choose some mentor and just see their professional and the personal growth. It's really something important that will be help you to achieve your goals. I will just try to explain it with some research studies conducted throughout the world. No, 71% of Fortune 500 companies have mentoring program in their organizations. No, a survey conducted by the Sun companies in Microsoft and department by the UK, they said 94% of the employees said they will stay at a longer period in the company if they have some opportunities and more opportunities to grow and develop themselves in that area. No, if I just tell them that 67% of the businesses, they said they have a positive impact due to the mentoring program. Similarly, the 55% of the businesses felt that their profit will be increased just due to of the mentoring program and not other cost cutting and not other productivity. So similarly, if I just share with you the Sun Microsoft survey, they just conduct a survey on 1,000 people over a period of 5 years. They just divide the group into half they have with the mentors and the other half they don't have the mentor. After the research, they came to know that the people who have mentee, for example, the mentee have a 5 times more chances to grow and promoted as compared to the person who's without mentee. Similarly, the mentor, he has 6 times more opportunity to grow in the field as compared to the persons who don't perform the role of the mentor. No, despite all these interesting facts, a survey conducted by the Olivet University, USA, it's very unfortunate that only 37% of the professionals have the mentors. No, this shows us we have to just choose one mentor and right mentors just to go in the right direction. And if I just want to look at some, you can just say famous mentoring relationship in the world. So we can just came to know that Steve Jobs mentoring Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett mentoring Bill Gates, and the Sir Frederick Lecker mentoring Richard Branson. They openly admit that they got a lot of new knowledge and they will open their experience from their mentors, and it will be open a new world and imagination for them. And we can just see that how high it will be move them in the right direction. No, I will just want to share with my own story that Toastmasters allowed me to learn a lot from mentors. I just name a few that like Toastmaster Abdul Fateh Anil, Toastmaster CSNA, Toastmaster Ibrahim, Toastmaster Jiju, Toastmaster Roy, and Toastmaster Mudassir. They are my evaluator and the mentors during my previous projects. And I learned a lot from them to improve myself in the coming speeches and other things. And I'm just still in the stage of learning from them. No, I will just like to talk about a couple of other mentors who put a lot of impression on my, you can just say what I'm today. No, I just first start with the Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Sundar. From the first meeting, I like his style of communication, his vocal variety, and gesture control. Unfortunately, for time, I don't have anything. I know that one, but I'm just on the way to get that one. But at the same time, I have some concerns about his sandwich approach. Like he said, okay, you have to just give your evaluation between sandwiching, just like the negative points of the speaker, just be wrapped with the positive points in the start and the end. So it will be motivated and just go on. But my opinion is, okay, I am here to improve myself. I'm open to hear any negative or positive. You can just say negative feedback, okay, but it will be positive for my ongoing words. So I just need more and more negative feedbacks, or you can see my weak points instead of the positive one. And so that I will just work on it and I will go in the right direction. So, but I was, you can just say, assumed wrong myself, because I'm just searching for my project on different cultures. So I came to know one study that in Google, the evaluation form is only and only consist of the positive points, and they don't have any negative points, or you can just say negative feedback from their staff. So at the end of the day, what happened? It will increase the employee productivity and it will go in the right direction for the Google. So that's the time I just came to know that also why mentors are important in our goals, but they have a source of knowledge and they guide us to the right path. No, if I just share with you something about our club president and mentors, that DTM SR Sridhar, he's a source of inspiration. If I'm here today and delivering my speech today, it's only because of him. Now, when I joined the Toastmastering, initially my plan is just to check, okay, how the proceedings or how the Toastmasters meeting will go. My plan is, okay, just join. If it is start interesting, I will just go further. But if it is no, I will just move back and quit, because quitting is the more important and easy thing. No doubt it will be take you more and more setbacks in the future and coming because you don't learn anything. But after time, it's a good and you can just easy way. So I just start to attend first couple of meetings, but I'm not interested. It's still in that way, frankly speaking. Then I have just, okay, one day I just start to, okay, just try to attend one complete meeting, you can just say. I just attend the third meeting, I think, completely by the MECA KSA Toastmasters. After that, I just came to, you can just, at that time, we have a VP Education Toastmaster Nafis. I text him, can I just perform the role of the timer for the next meeting? No, he said, okay. But I don't receive anything from them and the text. But after 2 hours, I just receive a phone call from distinguished Toastmasters as a Sridhar. That was my first, you can just say, interaction with him. So I just guide him in the complete best way, what is the Toastmasters goals and how we can go further. And after that, I will be active. And remember, I think, yeah, one of his advice is just to wrap up your speech within time. And I am always out of that one. So if I'm just delivering my speech, it's just only because of the guidance and empathy of the distinguished Toastmaster SR Sridhar. To wrap up the speech, I just said that respective members, it is very important to work with your mentors, because mentor is someone who see more talent and ability with you. you cannot see yourself, and help them to bring you something and positive out of that. Over to you, my mentor, Toastmaster Hidayatullah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohammad Noman, for giving a great speech on mentoring. It is very useful for us to know about what is the process of mentoring, how it helps us in growing as a great speaker. The next speech will be given by myself. It will be a L2P2 speech, and I call upon Toastmaster Ibrahim Karjikar, who will be the evaluator of my speech, to read out the objectives as well as give my introduction. Over to you, Toastmaster Ibrahim.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Yeah. Our second speaker is presenting his level 2 project 2. The purpose of this project is for him to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn and practice and refine how to use non-verbal communication while delivering a speech. He was born and brought up in Chennai and did his higher studies in Bangalore and New Delhi. He's a transportation engineer and planner, and in mid-career, he moved to projects financing and Islamic banking after completing his MBA in finance and management. He came to KSA in 2004 to join Al Raji Bank and then moved to Bahrain in 2009. And from there, he moved to UAE in 2011. He moved back to KSA in 2013 and again joined Raji Bank as a senior director, head of project finance. Since 2019, he is working at National Center for Privatization at Ministry of Finance, Government of Saudi Arabia, as a senior executive director advisor in the transportation sector. He has over 30 years of experience and in infrastructure financing. He is married and has 3 children, 1 daughter and 2 sons. Fellow Toastmasters, please join with me to welcome Toastmaster Hidayatullah Bey. Toastmaster Hidayatullah, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ibrahim Karjikar. Presiding officer, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests, a warm good morning to you all. Every day, we come across a sea of decisions to take. Some are small and unimportant, while others are large and they have a huge impact on our day-to-day lives. For example, which politician should I vote for? Should I try the latest diet? Or will this email make me a millionaire? We are bombarded with so many decisions that is impossible to make a perfect choice every time. But there are many ways to improve our chances, and one particular effective technique is critical thinking. This is a way of approaching a question that allows us to carefully deconstruct a situation, reveal its hidden issues such as bias and manipulation, and make the best decision. If the critical path sounds negative, that's because in a way it is so. Rather than choosing an answer since it feels right, a person uses critical thinking subjects all possible options to scrutiny and skepticism. Using the tools at their disposal, they will eliminate everything that most useful and reliable information. There are many different ways of approaching critical thinking, but Here's one 5-step process that may help you solve any number of problems. The first step is formulate your questions. In other words, know what you are looking for. This isn't always as straightforward as it sounds. For example, if you're deciding whether to try out the newest diet craze, your reasons for doing so may be so obscured by so many factors, like claims like you will see the results in just a couple of weeks. But you approach the situation with a clear view of what you're actually trying to accomplish by dieting, whether that's for weight loss, better nutrition, or having more energy. That will equip you to sift through the information critically and find what you're looking for, and then decide whether this really suits your needs. The second step is gather your information. There's a lot of information out there, so having a clear idea of your question will help you determine whether it's what is relevant. If you're trying to decide on a diet to improve your nutrition, you may ask an expert for their advice, or you may seek people's testimonials or opinion. Therefore, information gathering helps you weigh different options, moving closer to a decision that meets your goals. 3, apply the information, something you do by asking critical questions. Facing a decision, you ask yourself, what concepts are at work? What assumptions do exist? Is my interpretation of the information logically sound? For example, in an email that promises you millions, you should consider what is shaping my approach to this situation. Do I assume the sender is telling the truth? Based on the evidence, is it logical to assume I will win any money? The fourth one is consider the implications. Imagine it's election time and you have to select a political candidate based on their promise to make cheaper petrol. At first glance, that seems very great. But what about the long-term environmental effects? Have you thought about it? If petrol is used less, use is less restricted by this cost, this could cause a huge surge in air pollution and unintended consequences that's important to think about. The fifth one is explore others' points of view. Ask yourself, why so many people are drawn to the policies of the opposing political candidate? Even if you disagree with everything that the candidate says, exploring the full spectrum of the viewpoints might explain why some policies that don't seem to be valid appeal to others. This will allow you to explore various alternatives, evaluate your own choices, and ultimately help you make more informed decisions. So in summary, this 5-step process is just one tool, and it certainly won't eradicate difficult decisions from our lives. But surely it can help increase the number of possible choices we make. Critical thinking can give us the tools to sift through a sea of information and find what we are looking for. And if enough of us use it as a tool in decision making, it has the power to make the world a better place for us to live in. Thank you very much. Our third speaker of the day is Toastmaster Rupesh, who will be giving his icebreaker speech, and Toastmaster Hassan Hussain would be the evaluator of the speech. I call upon Toastmaster Hassan Hussain to read the objectives of this icebreaker speech of Toastmaster Rupesh. Back to you, Toastmaster Hassan Hussain.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good morning to all fellow Toastmasters. My speaker, Toastmaster Rupesh, he is going to deliver level 1, project 1, that is icebreaker. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce himself to the club, as well as to learn the basic structure of a public speech. The time allowed is 4 to 6 minutes. I wish good luck to my speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan Hussain, for the summary of the objectives of the icebreaker speech. Now I call upon Toastmaster Rupesh to deliver his icebreaker speech. Over to you, Master Rupesh.
Thank you. Yeah, life is a journey, and our destiny is decided by choice or decision we make at different point of life. Some choice and decision might be right or wrong, but ultimately it helps us to transform us as a person. And I'm sure each one of you must have gone through these choices and decisions that had made you all a very successful corporate executive or successful person in your life. It is your decision, not the circumstances, that decide our destiny. And the strongest principle of life and blessing lies in our choices that we make. This is a quote from Billy Graham. So today I will introduce myself and also take my life journey in the few choices that I have made. Toastmaster of the day and colleague Toastmaster, good morning. Myself, Rupesh Kumar. I am born and brought up in Jamshedpur. Jamshedpur is also known as Tata Nagar. This is an industrial town in the state of Jharkhand that is a part of India. Tata Nagar is known due to a group of companies that is founded by Tata. Tata has also made this city as their choice of birth, and most of their companies, Tata Steel, Tata Power, Tata Timken, Tata Tinplate, Tata Motors, that is a famous company, has also made their humble beginning from that city. Coming to my family, my father was an engineer and he was a government employee. My mother is highly educated, but she chose to be a homemaker. However, she is a very lovely and she has very big influence on us. In my family, I have one elder brother and one younger brother. So most of my education has happened from Jamshedpur and Jamshedpur. And since my father has got government job, so we used to get transfer and posting at different places. So this also helped me to learn about mingling with the people, making new friends, handling change management. So during education, since my brother was elder, so he got first chance to do his 10th, 11th, and there he chose bioscience. So he went become to a doctor, very reputed doctor through this. So once I was doing 11th and 12th, my father told me, since already your elder brother is a doctor, so better you become a engineering, so at least we can diversify. So I also agreed with him, and then I said, okay, let me take a math science. Then I took in my 10th, 11th and 12th math science, and after 12th I gave competitive exam. Then I qualified for engineering. And I was about to take my admission to one of the reputed NIT college that is in Jamshedpur. That is a government college. But my heart and mind was not there. I was looking for something that can give me spark. So the fight was happening, whether I should go for engineering or what I should do. Then finally, but I was able to make my first choice or my decision. I'm not going for engineering. So I refused to take decision. Then this was very tough decision. I have to inform to my parents. I informed my mother first. She was very upset. She was not upset due to my decision, but she was not able to think what I will do if I'm not doing engineering. And medical I cannot do because again I have to go through the 2 years of study. So the wastage of time will be there. So finally, then I informed father. Father said, okay, fine. I also don't want to push you something you are not interested. So then he introduced me to different person, and asked me to discuss what you like and what are your dislikes. So there I met one gentleman. He was auditor and he was auditing different big companies. And that time he was staying 4 and 5-star hotels. At the same time, he was taking flight and ticket. Plus, his career profile was very nice. So this helped me to identify my goal, and then I enroll myself for CA. And then I become youngest one from Jamshedpur to do my CA. Thereafter, I moved to Delhi, and I was doing auditing of different companies, learning new skills. So there, I got opportunity to work for one of the big companies for doing ERP implementation. So since that time ERP was new, so most of senior declined this project, but I made a choice to go for this. I took evening classes, how ERP works and what are the features, functions, and then overall this project turned out to be fairly successful. Then I got second opportunity to work on a company in Dubai. So I was very hesitant to take this opportunity due to the my mindset about the lifestyle in Dubai. But that time I met with one gentleman. He said, no, I had been there 10 to 12 times for my business trip. If you go there, you will like the environment. Then I took this opportunity, and I thought anyway, maximum I have to, if I don't like 30 days, I can work, I can give notice and I can come back. So I thought to work there 60 days, but I ended up working there more than the 600 days. And overall there also I implemented the ERP and that was quite successful. Then after this project, I got opportunity to work on the company in Qatar. They are already ERP implemented. My job was to simply stabilize it and make it successful. I thought this is a very cakewalk, and I will spend there a few years. So with this mindset, I came to Qatar in this one of the biggest automotive company in Qatar. However, things were different. Within 30 days, I thought, no, I cannot manage this, so I need to resign. But then before I can resign, I met CFO, and then he asked, okay, you think again. Then I started thinking. I realized, yeah, challenges are there, but I need to take these challenges. So one by one, I noted, and then I also started empathizing with the people that were double of my age, and we created small teams, and then finally I was able to manage. Here is a company where I wanted to work now 30 days. I ended up working now 3,000 plus days and still going strong. And during this, I got married and I have 3 daughters. And overall, to sum it, I think I can sum it my journey. So a journey of 1,000 miles begin with one single step. I think most of you will agree. And overall, our life journey is a sum of decisions that we undertake. Thank you, and hand over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rupesh, for taking us through the journey of your life of 1,000 miles. Very interesting. Our fourth and last speaker of the day is the great Toastmaster Ibrahim Karjikar. It will be his L1 P2 speech, and Toastmaster Jijo Koshi will be the evaluator of the speech. I call upon Toastmaster Jijo Koshi to read the objectives of Toastmaster Ibrahim's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Jijo Koshi.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. The purpose of the project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. Time 5 to 7 minutes. project L1P2 from Strategic Relationship. Speech title, Let's Live Better. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jijo Koshi. Toastmaster Ibrahim Karjikar, he currently works as a planning and control manager at Bahari Logistics Corporate Office. Prior to coming to Riyadh, he worked in Baltimore, USA for 18 years, most of these as marketing manager. He served as vice chairman of Washington Metropolitan Cricket Board for 4 years and also served as its president. He enjoys his role of being a dad. He is blessed with 2 children, a boy and a girl, and he got married in 2000. He traveled to US in 2002. He is more self-educated person. He had humble beginnings, left India after doing his BCom. He dropped out of ICWA. He did his diploma courses in strategic management and project management in USA. He left India in 1990. Then he worked in Dammam, Jeddah, and Riyadh during the 1990s. He is a very, very aspiring Toastmaster, and I welcome Toastmaster Ibrahim to deliver your speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Ibrahim.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Am I visible?
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. Fellow Toastmasters, honorable evaluator, and distinguished guests, a very pleasant good morning. What a beautiful way to start a day, right? While the world is sleeping on during the weekends, we wake up. We wake up what we are passionate about. One thing we all would agree, we all want to live better. Isn't that true? And at the heart of it, especially in this interdependent world, we need to practice empathy. We need to be physically fit. More importantly, we need to be mentally fit. We grow when we stretch, when we are willing to embrace the uncomfortable. And if you want to live better, we need to remind ourselves that just like every muscle in our body, our mind needs that exercise as well. So this takes me back almost a decade back while I was the president of Washington Metropolitan Cricket Board. I was the president, I was a player as well. And we had a board. And on a given day, I arrived at a field as a player. And the umpire for the game was one of the board members with whom I had significant difference of opinion. This gentleman comes from Caribbean. He is a West Indies person. His ancestors had migrated from India, named Ram Raghu. Thorough gentleman on a given day. A week before that, we had difference of opinion because he used his authority as a board member to impose change in schedule, to which my ex-com disagreed. And he was boiling deep down there inside. And when I reached the field, what he couldn't see is the smile on my face. And it reached a point where he literally came with a bat ahead of me. And my club members came to defend me in front of me and saying, well, wait, guys, what are you doing? And I was calm, standing out there. I knew Ram for past 10 years. I have been working with him. He talks a lot of sense. But on a given day, I believe down there he had a bad day. He was under the influence of the people whom he was working with. He was trying to do a favor to one of his friends by switching the game from Saturday to Sunday so he could have more quality players for his club. Me standing there just calmly, some people thought was a passive demonstration. But within myself, there are two thoughts that were going on. Thoughts that have been cultivated based on touch basing with the hearts and mind of the great thinkers via books. And one of the excerpts, which I often quote, is the bully in me always bullies in the name of principles or in the name of rules. The bully in me acts quite reasonably and regrets that others must suffer as a consequence. And this part of me is covered. It hides behind what is right. So I won't have to admit my desire to hurt. Yes, Ram was at fault. Does that give me a license to hit it back at him? I had to become conscious of my desire to hurt before I can become conscious of my desire not to hurt. If I feel angry, I don't have to ask what I want to do, because at the level of that anger, the decision is already made. We make decisions first, and we try to support that by surrounding reasons. And at the core of all of a level, if I feel love, then the decision is already made to act without harming. So why would I go and confront Ram as an assault? Can't I be proactive? And that's exactly what I did. I stayed calm. I looked into Ram's eyes. I said, Ram, what you're doing is an assault. Do you know the consequences of that? You go for 2 years, and this is the field. We have a permit. This is a public place. And Ram was like, he put his bat down. And he walked back. My club members, couple of them, who are the real aggressive ones, they said, well, this was the opportunity. This would have been a great show. Well, Ibrahim would have hit him. He could have used his all martial arts skills. Yeah, I was a black belt once upon a time, which I boasted to them. So they knew that, well, I had some physical defense qualities. Just because I have those in my arsenal, should I be using them? Or should I use wisdom to defend myself? We all have choices. Mental strength is built based on the choices what you make. And unless you don't have this deep conviction in yourself, in the philosophy of nonviolence, your hand is going to raise, because that reaction has been deeply rooted in our DNA when we were hunters and gatherers. We get that knee-jerk reaction immediately when some person attacks you, my defense comes up. But it's a wisdom where we need to understand and do that calculation. Is he truly going to hit you? Or is he under anger? And if he is under anger and you are calm now, you can manage that situation better. And if we begin to manage the situations better, I feel most of the world's problems can be managed in a more efficient fashion. Most of the world problems and the life problems are based on the knee-jerk reactions people have. Yes, you can change the way you think. And once you do, you can master a new way to be. Calmness can be your superpower today. When you talk about empathy, you need to empathize by saying, well, the guy is under rage. Maintain calm, give him the benefit of doubt, speak to him when things are cold. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ibrahim. What a wonderful speech. It was a very marvelous speech. Thank you very much. Timer Toastmaster Muhammad Noman, can you confirm if all the speakers are qualified or not?
No, Speaker Muhammad Noman is not qualified. All the remaining 3 are qualified.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Muhammad Noman.
I just shared the link in half minute.
Okay, can we have the voting now? you'll share the voting link?
I just shared the link. Just give me a few seconds.
Okay. While we start the voting, let me tell you a story of emotional intelligence. This is about when Harry met Sally. They are both managers, like in our workplaces. Sally is usually upbeat and fulfilled, enjoys life and expects positive things to happen to her. Harry is not a happy person. He gets annoyed by his staff's splash dash work. But Sally is flexible and adjusts to new ideas and environments. Harry plans work well in advance and remains in control nearly all the time. Sally is very good at negotiations and can be hard-nosed in this area. Harry is cautious in his approach in dealing with others than most people. Sally is very good at communicating her feelings to others, while Harry is moderately motivated but sometimes needs some support at work. Sally becomes preoccupied with monitoring or thinking about her emotions, while Harry is normally able to explain how he feels, although he fails to find the right words. Sally is able to remain calm in stressful situations. Sometimes Harry is flighty and happy-go-lucky. Dear friends, what do you think is the most, who do you think is the most emotionally intelligent person? Harry or Sally? This is a question to you all. I'll come back to you after the next session to hear your answers. Just give me a moment. Let me also vote. Now let's begin the next session, which is the table topic session, an exciting section which we all look forward to on every meeting. This is an impromptu speaking session which will put you in a spot to speak on a topic which you need to prepare in less than a minute. The table topic session today will be conducted by Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal and evaluated by Toastmaster Hassan Hussain. Let me introduce Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal, our table topic master. Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal is an investment banker and a corporate finance professional with over 20 years of experience specializing in mergers and acquisitions, valuations, due diligence, strategic business planning, and management consulting. He is a partner with Simply FI Consulting, a boutique management consulting firm based in Bahrain. Previously, he has worked with global consulting firms including Deloitte, KPMG, Grant Thornton, and Moore Stephens International. Toastmaster Sanat is a qualified instrumentation engineer and has a master's in business administration with specialization in finance. He is a certified treasury manager from the Association of Certified Treasury Managers, US. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanat, to take over this session.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Hidayatullah, for that very generous introduction. Good morning once again, fellow Toastmasters, guests. As TM Hidayatullah mentioned, Toastmasters table topics session basically is an impromptu speech session, and where you don't have much time to think. So without further ado, let us start the session. The first topic of the day is EQ is more important than IQ. I'm going to put the topics on the chat so that everybody can read it even if they cannot hear it properly. So the session topic is EQ is more important than IQ. The topic is on the chat now. And can I invite Toastmaster Jijo Koshi to take up the topic, please? Toastmaster Jijo.
Toastmasters, distinguished guest. Warm good morning to all. EQ is more important than IQ. What is IQ? Intellectual quotient. Yes, it's very important to have a good IQ. And as DTM Sridhar mentioned, IQ has been going down with time. The previous century had great leaders, great inventions, and these days you don't get to hear them. Sure, our IQ level has dropped. But at the same time, if you see, EQ or emotional quotient is also very important. That is when we connect with each other. Example, being Toastmasters or even our workplace, we connect with people. We try to understand each other. And that's very important. That's how we serve the society. Because we need to understand each other and we need to empathize on what we feel about others. So I agree on the topic that EQ is more important than IQ. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jijo Koshi, for that interesting speech. The second topic is a quote by Mahatma Gandhi. I call him religious who understands the suffering of others. I call him religious, he who understands the suffering of others. Can I call Toastmaster Mohammad Noman to speak on this topic? I'm putting the topic on the chat. Toastmaster Mohammad Noman, I will do the timing for your speech. Toastmaster Mohammad Noman, are you available? Okay. Can I have Toastmaster Ibrahim Karjikar to speak on this topic?
Can you repeat the topic, please?
Yeah, the topic is I call him religious who understands the suffering of others. So said Mahatma Gandhi.
Definitely yes. If you look at deeply all the teachings of all the religions, if you analyze what all the preachers have preached us. They preach to have a harmonious society. Harmony comes when you empathize with those who are little unfortunate or very unfortunate. A society cannot be a peaceful society until people don't have everything they need. If you don't give in kind, the least you could do is feel the pain. And that's the first beginning point. All religions preach, they have this alms giving rituals, they have this practice of feeding the poor. Why do they have it? The only reason they have it because everything is geared up in having a harmonious society. Think about this. We have witnessed in Houston when the things went south, how the unfortunate, the lower income people stormed into all the stores, grabbing and looting the stores. Why? Because they had nothing to lose. So people who are poor, the least you could do is your little attention. And once you practice doing that, you become more religious. Because all religions preach you to help. The best way to help is help them in kind. You can give them a fish. But the better way to help them is teach them how to fish so they can feed generations upon generations. Yes, Mahatma Gandhi is right. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ibrahim Karjikar. What a beautiful thought. All religions preach harmony and empathy. Nothing is further, nothing further or more true. The next topic is when you start to develop your powers of empathy and imagination, the whole world opens up to you. I will repeat. When you start to develop your powers of empathy and imagination, the whole world develops for you. I think this is the third topic. I have put it on the chat. Can I have Toastmaster Hidayatullah to speak on the topic?
I think you're mute, Mr. Hidayatullah.
Sorry. Thank you, Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal, for this interesting topic. Empathy. What is empathy? Empathy means feeling as if you are in a shoe of other person. When you think that you are in the shoe of that person, you will realize what is going on with that person. With empathy, you can change this world into a better place to live. Once you empathize the suffering of poor and needy, then there are multiple options which will come to you to ameliorate their sufferings. Like we say, charity begins from home. So when you empathize and when you think that how to help a person, do it from yourself first. Like Toastmaster Ibrahim said, you can give a fish, but it is better to teach him fishing so that helps a lot of generations. So charity should begin from home so that it helps not only the current suffering of the people, it is over the years, it helps the generation. And imagine how can you help people? You can donate money, you can sponsor somebody's family, you can sponsor a child to study. There are umpteen things you can do only if you empathize the suffering of the poor and needy. Thank you, Toastmaster Rasant Agarwal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hidayatullah, for that wonderful thoughts. The next topic, it is very important to understand that emotional intelligence is not the opposite of intelligence. It is not the triumph of heart over head. Rather, it is the unique intersection of both. It's a long topic. I'll put it in the chat and then read it again. It is very important to understand emotional intelligence is not opposite of intelligence. It is not the triumph of heart over head. It is a unique intersection of both. And can I have Toastmaster Rupesh Kumar to speak on this topic?
It is very important to understand that emotional intelligence is not opposite of intelligence, and it is not a triumph of heart over head. Yeah, I fully agree with this, because ultimately any intelligence, acquiring any intelligence help us to perform better in our personal and professional life. So regarding empathy, even we like to work with the team and with the friends who listen to us, and along with we can work together. So sometime what happens, we find okay, the expected result is not happening in the way we want. But once we analyze, we realize we are not able to we are not able to empathize or create a good relationship with our team, either in personal or professional life. So to succeed, we don't need only intelligence, we need emotional intelligence also. So IQ and EQ both are important, and IQ help us to have a personal milestone, but EQ will ultimately help us have to perform better in any given team or society. So I feel uh, only having this IQ or intelligence is not going to have, both complement each other. So to succeed, we have to develop empathy so that our relationship with the team and society can be improved, and all can be work together and can be brought on common platform. Thank you, and hand over to table topic Toastmaster Santaga. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rupesh Kumar, for those wonderful thoughts. Do we have Toastmaster Sundar available? Is he there in the meeting today?
I don't think
He's not there.
yeah.
He's not there. Toastmaster Sridhar, I know you are the general evaluator, but are you able to take one topic?
Yeah, I'll take.
Okay, then I have an interesting one for you. I'm putting in the chat and then reading it out. If it is not tempered by compassion and empathy, reason can lead men and women into a moral void. I repeat, if it is not tempered by compassion and empathy, reason can lead men and women into a moral void. Over to you, DTM Sridhar.
Thank you, Mrs. Table Topics Master. Mahatma Gandhi said, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, leads to nowhere. It leads to mayhem. In this world of conflicting things, we need to understand each other. As Stephen Covey said, understand and then be understood. So this is the root cause of all the conflicts. We do not empathize. Instead, we don't listen to people. We just hear to feel, to reply. First, what we have to do is to understand the other person's perspective and then come up with our action. It is not how we react, it is how we choose to talk. And what is our bigger purpose? Is not to fight, but to solve any issue. So hence, if we go into reason and go for tit for tat, that will definitely muddle up the solution and will lead to more conflicts. So hence, instead of reasoning and doing all those things, let us step back and understand the other person's perspective in a bigger picture, and then make your decision to talk or not to talk. This is what will lead to a harmonious end of synergistic relationships. That's what I feel. Hence, I would urge you all to empathize, understand, and then be understood before taking any decision. That will definitely solve almost all of your conflicts and bring a harmonious relationship, whether it is workplace, home, anywhere. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, DTM Sridhar, for those wonderful words and thoughts. Understood, understand, and then be understood. I guess this is the best phrase of the word used till, for the day. I don't know if Toastmaster Mohammad Noman is available, then we can have one more topic. Otherwise, we will end the session now.
I think better to end the session because we are running out of time now.
Okay, let us do it then. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal. What an interesting table topic session we had today. The topics were quite interesting and the speeches were also very interesting. Timer Toastmaster Mohammad Noman, can you confirm if all the speakers are qualified or not?
Yes, all the speakers are qualified. Just give me 1 minute. I will just make the form and I will give you the voting link.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Mohammad Noman. While we vote, let me come back to the story and discuss your responses to the question I asked. DTM Sridhar, what do you think? Who is emotionally intelligent in my story, Sally or Harry? Your views, please.
I passed this question because at that moment I had a call. I had a call
Okay,
from the office
no
at that
problem. Can Toastmaster Jijo Koshi take it?
Sorry, I missed you.
Toastmaster Jijo, are you there?
Yes, but I missed your story. I'm sorry. Sorry for that.
Okay, then I will pass it to Toastmaster Ibrahim. Toastmaster Ibrahim, are you there?
He's having some issues.
Okay, no problem. Okay, let me give my perspective. In my perspective, I think both Sally and Harry, they have elements of intelligent, emotional intelligence. They both are not fully perfect, but they both have the ingredients, and we can say that both have adequate emotional intelligence. Okay, that's the end of the story. Do we have the voting link now?
Just give me a few seconds. I'm just fine. Yes, it's there.
Okay, thank you.
Just check. Yeah. Okay. It's locked.
Okay, now let's start the last session of the day, which is the evaluation session. I would like to introduce the general evaluator for today, DTM Sridhar, who has been recently certified as world-class speaking coach by Greg Valentine. DTM Sridhar, he is a veteran in the Toastmaster circles in Riyadh. He is one of the senior most members of the Toastmasters fraternity in Riyadh. He has been a passionate Toastmaster since the past 23 years and one of the members who played a key role in formation of District 79, both in the Middle East and then in Saudi Arabia. He has been a chartered member, mentor, and past president of Toastmasters Club, and he was instrumental in achieving the president's distinguished status of Taj Toastmaster Club during his tenure. He has been a successful chief judge and judge in several district and district conferences in the past. He was a first place winner in an evaluation contest in Division A conference in 2002. He was a past area governor of Area 4 and made it a president distinguishes during his tenure. During his tenure as division governor of Division A, he organized for the first time the visit of Mr. Vikas Jingran in 2007, who was the world champion of public speaking for a keynote address in a conference in Riyadh. He was a master trainer for Division A for the period 2010 to 2011, and his advice is always sought for Toastmastering activities. He has mentored innumerable Toastmasters to win speeches contests and was instrumental in reviving several Toastmaster clubs and infusing enthusiasm. He is a CPA from California Board of Accountancy and actively coaches students for passing the USA CPA examination. He currently works as a project manager, Oracle ERP Fusion implementation in Samsa Express. He is passionate about touching lives by sharing knowledge and sharing and uplifting people. He is a man of action and believes in less talk and more work. He is a man of unimpeachable integrity. Please give a rousing applause to welcome distinguished Toastmaster S.R. Sridhar, the General Evaluator of the day. I hand over to you, DTM Sridhar.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, for your too generous an introduction. And today's meeting, any Toastmasters meeting, is the most important section of the meeting, the general evaluation section. Why? Because we need to grow. We learn from our mistakes and then we grow. That feedback, as they say, is the breakfast of champions. We crave for feedback. And then as a person, whether you take anything, whether you take sports, studying, Toastmastering, any field, feedback is a breakfast of them for champions in any field. So today we'll have the excellent set of evaluators who will be evaluating our speakers empathetically so that they are infused with enthusiasm to come back and speak, incorporating those recommendations. Without delay, I would like to call the first evaluator of the day. Who will be evaluating the first speaker? Please help me welcome the speaker, the evaluator, who is a ceramic engineer working in Saudi ceramics for almost 17 years. He is a dynamic speaker and a leader. He is presently the Vice President Education of Toastmasters Club, and he has been decorated with innumerable awards like Excellence in Leadership Award, a Roundtable Member, CSR Manager, 20 District 79, 2020-21, Club Extension Chair, Club Growth Team, and Awards Committee Chair for District 79. And he's also a member, or rather a VP membership of Garagina Toastmasters Club. He's a very passionate volunteer. Anytime you call him, he's always there to help. Please help me welcome our dynamic speaker and leader, Jijo Koshi, to evaluate.
Thank you, Vijay Sridhar, for that generous introduction. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and my speaker, Toastmaster Numan, thank you for this great remembrance of the mentoring or importance of mentoring to me and fellow Toastmasters today. Indeed, mentoring has helped me grow for what I am today. So, and you brushed upon those areas which most of us need to catch up on. And he gave us so many examples from life that was really connecting us with him. The analysis of the speech. What I found is he gave a great content, a great opening, first of all, with a nice quote. Mentoring is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and push in the right direction by John Crosby. Great opening. So that got us into the speech. Finally, he had the body portion. He gave nice statistics showing what is the importance of mentoring and how effective mentoring is helping companies. I would have recommended some, if the source of the statistics is always involved, that makes it even great. Then the audience feel it's more authentic what you're saying to. And then he gave great examples of Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg being the mentee of Steve Jobs. Yes, that is really bringing great people. So we get more involved. Now, if I were to give you a few recommendations for your speech, first thing is, if audience have to connect to your speech, your eye contact is very important. You are looking above the screen. If I keep looking up, you cannot connect to the speech. So now it's time for the contest. So at least being the online scenario, you have to look on the camera. Else people will lose interest and they will go play with their mobiles. That eye connection was missing. The second important thing what I will say as or your speech objective is your example as a protege. Yes, you did mention about the different mentors you came across, but I would have been more happy, or the audience would have got more inspired if you suggest some experience where you faced difficulty as in your speeches or your projects, and how the mentor helped you. I would have shared, normally I do share my speeches as well, where I had interaction with the mentor and how we discussed. And there are new members who need to know what to do with the mentor. Many don't know. So that would have been a great lesson for all the newcomers here. And one more last recommendation I would like to make is the stage moment. You're having a headset, so that's limiting you to go here and there. That's very important in the contest. You can't just stay in a place, even it's online. We're doing what we're doing in the physical environment. To sum it up, great speech. You have the power of vocal variety, great content on mentoring. Only the eye contact is missing, and the example as a protege and stage moment. That's it. Back to you.
Thank you, Jijo, for excellent evaluation. So now, our next evaluator who will be evaluating Mohammad Hidayatullah's speech is a passionate Toastmaster. He is just looking for an opportunity to speak, opportunity to serve, to improve himself. And what an exponential growth he has made in his speaking. Please help me welcome Ibrahim Karjikar to evaluate Toastmaster Hidayatullah.
Toastmaster Hidayatullah, what an excellent speech content you had. Formulate your question, gather your information, apply the information, consider the implications, and explore other points of views. Well, it was an excellent content. Your spoken language was very clear. Your vocal variety was good enough. You effectively used the eye contact. I could see you were looking, and you're very comfortable presenting your content. However, I go focus on the objective of the speech. When I saw you first, I said, darn it, how can Hidayatullah miss that 2/3 of the opportunity? Your body is your resource now. That's exactly what the project demands of you. And I saw only this much portion visible of yours. This portion was missing, couldn't see. So this is your resource when it comes to body language, right? Yeah, use it completely. You can move your body down here and down here. How can you do that? And if you come just so close, having only 1/3 of your body visible, you limit yourself. Your 2/3 resources are gone. So that was one critical observation. So for me, 2/3 of my evaluation part is gone. I truly loved the way you spoke. Your spoken language was very clear. I could see that you have command over the content. Yeah, you have prepared speech very nicely. To be quite honest, looking at the objective of the speech, even if your content was left, right, my evaluation would be based on your body language, objectively speaking. So sticking to the objectives, what I suggest is distance yourself. Maybe you can get a better tool as a camera where you can make it. I myself, I'm going through the similar feedback mechanism. I got the feedback that I wasn't looking. So this is what I have tried to do, that I could come and look straight. And then when I move back, I think at least my 2/3 of my body is visible. That's point one. Now that gives me enough space to move left and move right. Yeah, that was my left and that was my right. Yeah. But then I like the points what you highlighted. Critical thinking. Guess what? That gave me the liberty to be critical as well. And I know the wisdom which you have demonstrated is truly be applied. The feedback what you received from my evaluation, you will take that as a constructive feedback and apply those where we would love to see Hidayatullah's 2/3 body where the movement is up there. And once you do that, your speech is going to get to the next level. Excellent content. Can't agree more. Critical thinking is required. I liked how you put them in 5 steps. I like when you said this 5, I love that body language of 5. I love your hand gestures, how you were doing, because that's, okay, only 1/3 of the body. Imagine what impact it would have had if we were further down. So great speech. Continue what the content was, but work on your body language by adding that distance from camera and using a better tool. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Mr. Ibrahim, for a wonderful evaluation. Now, our next evaluator, he is an all-rounder and a multitasking expert. He's just less than a year old in Toastmasters and mind-boggling performance. His exponential growth in Toastmasters speaks volumes of being a role model He's playing a lot of hats. He's a vice president education of 2 clubs, Grand Professionals and Mobili Never Surrender. They were all struggling. Now they are the acme of success. And he's also a club growth director of the Area 6 and a proud member of Taj Toastmasters Club. He hails from Darbhanga in Bihar and a QA/QC manager in the Middle East Fibers. And mind you, he is a great role model. Please help me welcome Hassan Hussain to evaluate our ice-breaking speech of Rupesh Kumar.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmasters Sridhar, for this great and humble introduction of mine. Thank you for your kind words. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. My speaker, Toastmaster Rupesh, congratulations to you for delivering your icebreaker speech, breaking the ice, coming forward, taking this challenge to deliver your first ever icebreaker in the Toastmasters. As you said that life is a journey and you need to make choices that decides your destiny. A great speech we all have witnessed from you today. We all learned about you, all your life journey. We learned about the way where you struggle and the way where you come from and where you are today. You belong to a city of steel that is Tata Nagar in Jamshedpur. You told us all the story, how you brought up and how you were pushed in an engineering field that was not your destiny and that you were not made for. Then the courage you took to discuss with your parent that it is not your cup of tea and you need to make a different choice. The moment you decide to leave the NIT, even after getting in entrance exam passed and got admission, that was the life-changing moment for you. A great inspiration for all of us who are struggling just because they cannot make a decision or they cannot speak bold or loud enough to their parents for the choices, what they want to be in their life. It was a great story. We also learned about your professional careers, how you had worked in Delhi as an auditor, as well as you work in ERP implementation, from where you got offered to work in Dubai and you were hesitant again to pick this offer. Yet again, we could see that you have took the right step. You just take this challenge to move forward and you end up working more than 600 days rather than where you were planning to work at least 60 days. Then you move forward in another company where you work more than 3,000 days. These all are inspiring stories of you that we have learned a lot, that gives a message to all the audience that we should never give up at any moment of our life, and we shall always take the challenges, face it, and raise yourself. We learn about your family, your father who was an engineer and government employee. We learned about your mother, your brothers, as well as your marriage life, where you spoke about your family, that you have 3 beautiful daughters and you are having a happy family and happy married life. It was a great content where you delivered, meeting your objective, that in the purpose of the icebreaker, that is to introduce yourself to the club, and that you did perfectly well. We all got to know about you from your beginning till the life today. As well as you had a great structure of a speech. Public speaking is always about having a great opening, then a body, and then conclusion. So you had started your speech with a quotation, then you bring out all your speech content, the body of that in the transition, as well as you ended up the speech with a great quotation, the journey of 1,000 miles start with a single step. That was a great conclusion and call of action. Something I would like to suggest, that you were delivering a speech with full confidence, great eye contact. Some of the things that I could notice that you were constantly moving to left to right. Unintentional movement. use it when it is really required. Try to use the stage movement when you are explaining a one part of your story. Deliver it from one place and then move it to the other place slide bit when you move it to the next stage of your life. So try to avoid unusual movement, plus add some humor. You would have a lot of space in your life that could attract audience, that could engage audience. Add some humor, it will make it more engaging. Overall, the speech was fantastic, well crafted, and with this, you can be a great speaker. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Hassan Hussain. So now the next evaluator is again Mr. Jijo Koshi, who will be evaluating Ibrahim Karjikar's speech. Please help me welcome Jijo Koshi again to the platform.
Thank you, Sridhar, for listening again. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, let's live better. Let's live better. And what a way to introduce this topic through an inspirational storytelling technique. Toastmaster Ibrahim, you're fascinating me by your every speech. And the more I listen to you, I feel like I should keep coming back. That's because of your attractive or fascinating, the presentable way you get your speeches. Coming to your content, you give a great storytelling approach that was good, and you started with a great hand gesture, welcoming all the audience in the standing portion. That was great. So people all got, connected immediately. And then you used, you said that we need to be physically fit as well as mentally fit. Very key elements of your speech. Coming to your delivery portion, you mastered the vocal variety. At every point, I see the right tone was used to match your script. And you're making it even greater by your facial expressions. Really, I need to admire you for that. And hand gestures. Now it's contest season again. And now it's time, high time you will focus on the contest point of view. There are some key elements which a judge would be seeing. At one area, you turn your back towards the audience. That's very key area where the judges will mark. So never turn your back on the audience. It's very important. The second point is you need to add some humor. Saturday morning, I don't want to listen to a serious topic. I would rather prefer a humorous, subtle topic. At least somewhere in your speech, some humor is required to keep the audience engaged. Else, you will just close the camera and go sleep. So we need to have something to get them back. And third, the audience engagement. You never greeted the audience. That's the first thing you need to do. Greet the audience and ask them questions to ensure they stay on their seats listening to your speech. And the final recommendation is you have a big stage. Please, 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 you need to use the stage. You're just going front and back. Yes, you're fabulous when you come back, come close to the camera and go back. Mind-blowing approach. But you need to go sideways as well when you change places during your speech. Overall, great speech, great inspirational storytelling, vocal variety, facial expressions. Perfect for a contest. All you need to do, focus on the humor, engage the audience, and don't turn back. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Jijo Koshi. Now we have the multitasker again, Hassan Hussain. Hassan Hussain, could you please unmute your video? We want to see you. Who will be evaluating the table topic session? Before I would call Hassan Hussain, I'd request that we pass a motion that we're already out of time. Can we extend the meeting by 15 minutes? I pass a motion, 15 minutes.
Yeah, he seconded.
Yeah. So now, please welcome Hassan Hussain to evaluate the table topic session.
Thank you, General Evaluator, and please excuse me for the video for this time. Actually, I'm unable to do so.
Okay.
Good morning once again to all fellow Toastmasters, and congratulations to the table topic master for conducting a great session. Just one recommendation from my side to table topic master: try to keep the topic short and sweet. Instead of being a lengthy topic, it would be a great for the audience to catch it clearly as well as for the speaker. Otherwise, it was a fantastic session. Coming back to the evaluation of the speakers, the first speaker, Toastmaster Jojo Koshi, he took the topic very well, and he agreed to the topic that whether yes, IQ is also important in our life, but we need to be empathizing. So he mentioned the importance of emotional quotient. Being emotional is also as important as to be intelligent. We have to have some compassion towards the people. We have to have some feeling of, you can say, the empathy to all the audience. The speech was, as he is a seasonal speaker, the speech was very fantastic, but just what I was eager to see, that if he would have delivered his speech standing, in a standing position, it would have been great. We could have witnessed his hand gestures, body movement, all the stage movement that would have made his speech great. Toastmaster Ibrahim, he attempted the second topic. He talked about the harmony, agreeing to the quote what Mahatma Gandhi said, and he had presented it very well in a fantastic manner, that if you don't have something to give, or if you don't have, if you don't at least feel kind to someone, at least if you don't give kindness to someone, at least feel it from your side. Be passionate. If you at least be kind toward the society, what Mahatma Gandhi said, that rather giving a fish to the person, teach him how to catch fish. That will be a great help to the society. It was a messageful speech. It was with a great content, that all the religion that teaches us empathy, it teaches us about harmony. It was a great messageful speech, and this is what we need in today's world, in today's life. Whole world is our family, and we need to develop brotherhood and compassion amongst us. The speech was delivered with all the confidence. The perfect speechcraft was there. He was utilizing the stage very well as he had some vocal variety in the speech. Something I would like to suggest, that please give some personal example. If you add some personal example, that could relate the audience more towards your speech. The third speaker, he also had a great start about the speech. He directly agreed to the topic, and he bring on so many examples. He delivered his speech with great hand gesture, very comfortably. Only thing I would like to recommend him, that add some vocal variety and a stage movement during a speech. That would make your speech more engaging. Fourth speaker, Toastmaster Rupesh, he agreed with the topic. He agreed with the topic that it is very important to understand the emotional intelligence. We need to be very emotional, or be very empathetic towards the people. We need to understand the people. That was the message from his story. The only thing I would suggest to him is that, please again add the stage very purposefully, restrict your unnecessary movement, add some personal example that will make your speech attracting. Our final speaker, Toastmaster Sridhar, he is always very confident while he comes on the stage, and the topic given to him was also very connected to his passion. He's a passionate person who wants to touch the people's life with compassion, and he wants to uplift the people who are underprivileged in the society. And the topic given to him was very well connected towards his passion, as I said that. He said that we need to understand each other to be understood. We need to understand the other people so that we can have a harmonious society. We can uplift the people who are having difficulties or hardship. He delivered the speech in a very great manner. I admired him while speaking on the stage. I could just recommend him, please bring in some example story. You have a lot of experiences. You please add some personal example where you have worked for the society and you have done for the something for the upliftment of the people, so that it will be a great inspirational for us learning from you, and it will give us again a great message to all audience. Overall, it was great. I enjoyed the table topic. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Hassan Hussain. Timer, whether all the evaluators are qualified, please let us know. No one?
All the evaluators are qualified. I will just share the link in 1 minute.
Okay, share the link. Yeah. And kindly, while the voting is going on, I would ask our meeting leaders to give their reports. The word master and grammarian, Sanat Agarwal, could you please give your report, please?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you, General Evaluator. I'm happy to note that almost all the speakers have used the word of the day correctly. Toastmaster Mohammad Noman used once. DTM Sridhar used more than 3 times. Toastmaster Hidayatullah used more than 2 times. Toastmaster Jiju Kosi 1 time. Ibrahim Kharchikar more than 3 times. I have used a couple of times. And in all instances, the word was correctly used. In general, the language of most speakers was good. I have though noted a few instances where certain things can be corrected. I'll give you a few examples. One of the speakers says he is an engineer turned into finance. Probably what he meant was he's an engineer turned into a finance professional or a finance person, more like finance professional. Another user says after red color will appear on screen. It should be after red color appears on the screen. Similarly, after the screen will be go green. I think after the screen goes green or once the screen goes green. A few very interesting quotes are used. Journey of 1,000 miles begin with a small step. Yes, we all know and agree. Calmness can be your superpower today. Absolutely wonderful thought. Understand and be understood. Let's live better. I think some of the very interesting phrases and quotes which I found. There are many more which I have not quoted because there is a whole list of interesting quotes. But these are just few of the points which I observed during the meeting. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Sanat. Next meeting leader will be the R counter. The R counter, could you please give me a report, please?
I don't think so. We have our counter report. I think Toastmaster Hassan Hussain is not able to. Toastmaster Hassan, are you there?
Yes, please.
Yes. Can you please present your report if you have our counter report?
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good morning, all fellow Toastmasters. The all unnecessary sounds that were used by the speakers, I would like to list by name that Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal, he used twice during his presentation. Toastmaster Nauman, he used once, twice. Toastmaster Hidayatullah, he used 5 times, and twice, but thrice, and he repeated what few times. Toastmaster Rupesh, he also used 3 times, 1 time. Distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar, he used once, and he repeated word and twice. With this, I conclude. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Mr. Hassan Hussain. Now, can the timer give his report? Naman?
Yeah, thank you, General Evaluator. Today we have 3 speakers. The first speaker, Toastmaster Muhammad Noman, is disqualified. He took 7 minutes 42 seconds. So that shows how much that 12 seconds are important. I just wrap up my speech, but I'm not able to be within that time. So our next speaker, Toastmaster Hidayatullah, he completed his speech in 7 minutes 16 seconds. Our third speaker, Toastmaster Rupesh, he have an icebreaker, so he's completed his time within the time limit, that is 6 minutes 30 seconds. Now, our last speaker prepared speaker for today is Toastmasters Ibrahim. Toastmasters Ibrahim completed his speech in 7 minutes 28 seconds. If we just discuss about the table topics, today we have 5 table topic speakers with us. The first one is Toastmaster Jijo. Toastmaster Jijo completed his table topic speech within 1 minute and 30 seconds. Toastmasters Ibrahim took 2 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmasters Hidayatullah completed his table topic speech in 2 minutes 4 seconds. And our fourth speaker, Toastmasters Rupesh, he completed his speech in 1 minute 35 seconds. Our last table topic speaker for today, distinguished Toastmasters Asher Sridhar, took 2 minutes 5 seconds. So all the table topic speakers are qualified. If we just speak about the evaluators, we have in total 3 evaluators. So first one is Toastmaster Jijo. Toastmaster Jijo took 3 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Ibrahim took 3 minutes 29 seconds. Toastmaster Hassan Hussain took 4 minutes 20 seconds. So that's why he's disqualified from the voting list. Toastmaster Jijo took 3 minutes 19 seconds. And for the table topic, Toastmasters Hassan Hussain took 5 minutes 45 seconds. That's also unqualified, and they will just took them more time as compared to the required time allocated to them. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, all the meeting leaders and listening. I would like to ask all the voting for the best meeting leader. So now, and the best evaluator. It's already done, I think. So my comments in short is that the meeting started a little bit late, and then we are also ending late. So we need to really work in such a way that the meeting starts on time and ends on time. That we have to see that, and we should not overshoot the time. From next meeting onwards, please see that the meeting starts on time, ends on time. And generally, I'll just say a very important points. I saw several Toastmasters ending the speech with thank you. In Toastmasters, we don't say thank you. The audience has to thank you to give a speech. So the contest season is coming, so please refrain from speaking thank you. And while ending your speeches, you have to tell the next step the audience has to take. The next step, why the audience has to listen to you, and what next step, what do we carry home? Mind you, next step is very important. And while telling many stories, please see that when you're transiting between one point to another point, give a teaser so that the audience has to listen to you. That's very important. And overall, the meeting, quality of meeting was good, standard of meeting was highly good. The only one point I would like to give to Toastmaster of the day, who did an excellent job. He was multitasking. That while introducing anyone, we need to keep a suspense. That is, the audience has, even though the audience knows who's going to come, but you have to create a suspense by naming him last. It's not say, oh, the next speaker is Mohammed Noman. No, the suspense is lost. You have to give his introduction in such a way, some innovative way, and then please help me welcome Mohammed Noman to lecture, to give a speech. So that's sort of, let us practice those. Otherwise, it was so good today. And while the table topics master was excellent, although our evaluator has commented on long topics, but yet we need to shorten it. But they were quite excellent, and the topics were good. Evaluators. Only one point for the evaluators I would mention is that this contest season is coming. I would try to say that the evaluation should be more on what you observe, less of story. Only a passing reference should be made to what the script he has made. The more of, if you repeat all the topics what the people have said, that consumes your time. So you need to just touch upon some of the highlights and then give feedback on what is the construction of speech, the body language, and the impact that you have created the audience. This would really enhance your evaluation skills. Although the evaluations were great, everyone's evaluation was great. Overall, it was a great meeting. And last but not the least, let us plan the meeting well in advance and not grope for role players at the last moment. So let us start it from now itself, and by Tuesday or Wednesday, let us send the agenda. All in all, it was a great meeting. I hand over the lectern to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator DTM Sridhar. I think we had a wonderful day today. The first session was quite interesting with the speakers speaking on topics like mentoring, critical thinking, etc. We also had a great table topic sessions which kept us on our toes. And finally, we had the general evaluation session, which was an important session in obtaining feedback on the speeches. I would like to thank you all for the smooth conduct of the meeting. Now I hand over the stage to President of our club, DTM Sridhar, for the closing comments and vote of thanks. Over to you, DTM Sridhar.
Thank you so much, Hiratullah, for an outstanding performance. Now, I would like to ask voters to vote counter to please present a link for the best meeting leader, and also the big three. The big three, the Toastmaster of the day, table topics master, and the general evaluator. So while voting is going on, I would really say this emotional intelligence, we practice emotional intelligence and empathy, most of our issues and conflicts will be resolved. It's a game-changing and life-changing event for every one of us, each of you, if we really practice emotional intelligence. If you have a good book on emotional intelligence by Daniel Goleman, I would recommend you all to please read this book. It has the ingredients to really touch upon you and create transformation you can have, internal transformation. So now, we do have any guests? No, we don't have, yeah. So we would like to have feedback of Jijo Koshi, please, our guest. He technically not a guest, but he's a supporter.
Thank you. First of all, they need to shorten the introductions.
Yeah, that's true.
It's too long. And the agenda has to be published 1 week in advance. So you can get the role plays easily.
Yeah.
So, multiple, only feedback. Actually, one of the best club is MECA, because you're having a meeting on Saturday morning. You will get enough people on Saturday morning. And if possible, to extend, to start a bit late, if not, if 10:30 would have been ideal, 10 o'clock at least. So you get more people. 9:30, many people are still on bed. I am working, so I join. No problem. Otherwise, If you can make it 10 o'clock, I think the number of participants will increase. You can just publish 1 week ahead the agenda, or at least 3-4 days. You'll get enough participants for your meeting. Then this scenario will change. MECA has got the best timing, Saturday morning. So let's utilize this and have the best meeting. I feel it's one of the best clubs I saw here. And online, you're doing just great. Thank you so much, TJ. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Jijo. That's what, unfortunately, we have to meet the Salah time. That's the reason we are not able to. I would love to meet at 10 o'clock. We have to meet the Salah time at 12 o'clock. That's the reason we have to keep this timing. And thank you for your feedback. While the voting is going on, Norman, the vote has voting completed. So now, we will not have a few stars in the next meeting onwards. So we would have to publish our meeting, work very hard, and we would like to reach out to all the members. I will try to reach out to many, and then let us see that we have more members participating. Currently, there are people, what I understand, they're really hard pressure and work completing targets today. And Mudassir has to undergo a training program, so he is not there. Next week onwards, we may not have Norman also, and sometime we may not have Hidayatullah for some time. But then we need to really bring in the bench strength of a club and run the club. That's what I would say. And let us is Norman, you're ready?
For the big three, because I just received 3 responses at the moment. And can you just vote for the big three? Because only 3 members just vote for big three.
Please vote for big three, please. Please vote for big three. At least 6 people should vote.
Big three and the meeting leaders. Because for meeting leader, we have 4 responses only.
Meeting leader, I think you have not mentioned all the names.
I mentioned 3.
Yes, Anat is not there, I think.
Rahman, Hassan. Oh, yeah, I just consider Hidayatullah instead of Sanat. Sorry for that. I will just send the link again, otherwise.
Okay, send the link again.
Wait, just give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm coming. Just give me a minute. I'm coming. Okay. Tell Dia, just take up. I'm coming, Amal.
Meeting leader you have sent?
I'm just preparing again. Just give me just 1 more. Meeting leader is Toastmaster Sanat, Toastmaster Noman, and Toastmaster Hassan. Yes, am I right?
Yeah.
Toastmaster Sanat, Toastmaster Noman, and Toastmaster Hassan. Yeah. Yes, it's there. Kindly vote for the best meeting leader. Three members voted, yeah. Four members, can you please, other members also vote for them? I have 4 responses.
Please, everyone, please vote so that we can close the meeting time.
4 members. Still 4, yeah. Or we just go for
Whatever it is, just go for it. No, you don't have to.
the best speaker is Toastmasters. I will share. Toastmaster Ibrahim is best speaker for today.
Yeah.
Just give me because best table topic. Best table topic speaker is again Toastmaster Ibrahim. And the best evaluator for today is also goes to Toastmasters Ibrahim.
Wow.
Just give me a big applause. Yeah, today is the day of the Toastmasters Ibrahim. Now, if we just talk about the big three, we just received 5 responses, and Toastmasters Hidayatullah. Winner is Toastmaster Hidayatullah, and the last one is meeting leader, Toastmasters Sanat. Okay. Toastmasters Sanat and Toastmaster Numan both have 2 votes. So Toastmaster Sanat is the winner.
Okay. Yeah.
Over to you, General Evaluator and President.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
The stands adjourned, and actually, I'm apology for the late. Next time we'll have start on time and start and end on time. Thank you so much, and have a great day. The meeting stands adjourned.
Thank you all. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
And we can adjust the timing during the table topic when we are out of time in the speech session. Yeah, we can make up there. Yes.
We'll make up that. We'll do that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, just finish the meeting because Dr. Sundar told me just finish the meeting when it's finished and it will be automatically published on the YouTube.
Okay.
Thank you.